defenders, I think, is like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, appreciative to all of you lot tuned in across Twitch and YouTube. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you like myself over in England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night where you lot are concerned. First things first, I hope you all had a great week, moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, man. If I'm honest with you, hope you're all gearing up for a fantastic weekend off the back of that, and I hope you lot, many more weekends, blessings, and things to come. Appreciative to you lot tuned in, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Twitch, you already know what to do. Appreciative to you lot who was at my live stream where we spoke about Arsenal. Shout out Martinelli for getting his 15 minutes against Brazil. Obviously, big up Vinicius Jr. as well for scoring, but Martinelli got his debut. Kieran Tierney scored. Unfortunately, Saka's out the England squad due to COVID. Apparently, Smith Rowe sat out training, so he might not play. So again, it is what it is in that regards, man. But yeah, we done that, and we're here now, innit? In terms of other content, smack the like button, people. 2 p.m. I'm over on Twitch with Statman Baines, where we'll talk about Arsenal top four and anything else you lot have to say. 4:30, I'll be playing Football Manager. That's on Twitch. So yeah, one love to you lot being tuned in. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you're all doing well, man. What more can I say, man? What are you lot saying? Appreciate yourself, Brian, man, and all the Kenyans tuned in. We've got America, Joey, come on, Red Cloud Reviews. You're always here, man. Good morning, right back to you, man. Ocean, I've been ignoring him, man. Every time he comes in here and asks us about Rafinha, the latest I saw of Rafinha, apparently Barcelona won him. It's a sunny day in London, man. Big up yourself, Charlie. Come on, it is what it is. So yeah, South London. It's probably, hopefully the sun's even probably shining in South London, man. Probably even in Croydon and then places where they still probably ride horseback and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Bro, the time that I see potential in Arteta, he could be cutting. I don't believe it, broski. Because the thing is, what capacity is this Tite brother coming with? That's one. Arteta, you've been saying trust the process, all these things the club have been saying, and as you said, it's finally where fans are starting to evidently see things. Well, go on for that. What's going on, sort of thing. So the first thing I think to myself is, what sort of role is this Tite brother happening? Is Edu and Arteta, are they having a bus up? Is Arteta maybe having cold feet because he's contracted until 2023? There was rumors of him signing a new deal. And is there a knock-on effect with that? Is it just was in that regards? I don't know. So there's a lot of things. We're gonna get into it, but there's a lot of things. That's why for me, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. By all means, if he's coming to do some expertise role after he steps down from Brazil, fair play, we could do with that. I don't necessarily rate him as a manager, but it is what it is, really and truly. He already repented for his sins about Partey. He said that was flawless. Who said that, man? It is what it is. So yeah, man, it could be, if you're bringing him in terms of expertise, why not? And obviously Edu knows him from his time working with Brazil, so why not, man? But I don't know. We're gonna get into that, but I don't know why he's joining. But I mean, he's got he might be someone with the contact book with some real star boy Brazilians. Again, Edu, what you should have been doing is chatting to him and saying, yo, you're going to try and get Anthony to North London. For me, Agent Cedric, for me personally, Cedric, we all watched Portugal yesterday, or I hope you did. Matheus Nunez, we all see what he's doing, midfield. He runs in behind. He can score goals. He can dictate the tempo of a game. He's got fantastic passing range. For me, he's the perfect player to slot into what we're doing at this football club, Matheus Nunez. Sporting got a couple of players still, Sporting have a couple of midfielders, man. Let me go on their squad. The Sporting got a couple of players. And obviously, Rafa Leao. That's what I was saying as well, in a sense of I'm being greedy. But if you could get me one of these Osimhen's, Lautaro Martinez, Darwin Nunez's, and then if you could get me a Jonathan David and a Rafa Leao, I'm on that. Rafa Leao can play through the middle, or obviously on the left, and you saw what he can give you as an option in the team. Looking at Sporting, people, there's a couple of players. Matheus Nunez, he's 23, Brazil and Portugal nationality. They've got Pedro Gonçalves. You could, different role completely, but you could be bringing him to the carpet. This Manuel. This Uruguayan 20-year-old, what's his name? Manuel Ugarte, Ugarte, man. If you're pre and sporting, they got a couple of players there as well. Even there, well, he's technically owned by City, but Pedro Porro, you know, obviously, if there's something to be done there with a backup right back, I'm on that as well. Should be trying to grab all these youths. I can't lie to you, but for me, Matías Nunez, if you can bring me Matías Nunez, Fabian Ruiz this summer, among the others, then I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it, man. I know he looks like he's going City and it looks like a myth, but that's who I'm trying to go and get, man. He's not going to sign for us, but we're all allowed opinions, innit, really and truly. I think they're playing on thing. We're playing tomorrow at 5:30 against Switzerland, and I think Tuesday is Ivory Coast. With big up the Twitch gang. We saying, son of Chelsea, I'm there, my guy. I hope you're doing well and safe. I'm here, man. I appreciate you lot tuned in. I'm doing well and safe. It's been a fantastic week. Very hard but rewarding week. I can't complain about nothing on that. Let me check my emails quickly. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Trying to reschedule this appointment. 2 p.m. is what it is. So yeah, man, it is what it is where that's concerned. That was, you know, what you lot saying. I see the waves, DJ. I appreciate. I ain't got waves. My hair's just curly, bro. Like it is where it is. You know, it is what it is, man. What can you get me? What can I say? Oh, you see that? Come on, you're gassing me. That's how I was feeling. It's trying to keep it composed, but you get me. You get me. I might just have to. All right, so yeah, man, let's stay on task, man. Listen, don't this is how you can tell how I was in school in many 10 years ago, back to 16. You can see how I was in it. I had a lot of just easily led astray, man. Hey, man, I don't know where, I don't even know how we get back on task, man. Just share my ADHD, bro. You're gassing me, you're a bad guy, you're gassing me, you're gassing me, making a grumpy don't like me smile and that pause. Where you're gassing me. My boy is a United fan. Lord forgive him for his sins, man. You know, big up sons of Chelsea. You know, every now and again I see a couple of you who are good people, but you make mad decisions supporting mad clubs. You know, you're clearly good people, but it is what it is, man. My boy is a United fan. Yesterday he said the way ARTETA has you man set up, you can win champs in a couple seasons. Our progress is becoming undeniable, even to United fans. We love to see it. That's good, and I hope he can. But his Champions League chest is high. His chest is high in it. Man, need to know you can consistently get us top four. First and foremost, see this thing this season through to the end. Get us consistently top four. Get us to latter stages of competitions. Be able to deal with multiple competitions. Because I won't lie, as much as I like Arteta, I think he's kind of struggled with that. The brief little introductions he's had of dealing with multiple competitions. It's like even the rhetoric around us playing in one competition this year. It's because we're not doing the business in the FA Cup. So show me these sort of things, and then you could talk about Champions League. Show me we can do more than just, let's be honest, we're just going to be in the Champions League for participation. I'm on that. I want Champions League Arsenal live streams on my Twitch and YouTube. I'm on that. But really, and I hope the footballing gods bless us, but really we're just in the club for the sake of the club. It's like we've saved our peas, we're going raving, we've got into the club. We can't even buy a juice right now, you know. We can't even buy a table, and that we just have to pattern something. So let's be easy, but there is progress, man. There is progress. But again, I need to see it keep going. And for me, it's bigger than just Arteta, because for me, Arteta can have all the ideas he wants in the world, yeah. He needs to be supported. As you know, long gone are the days of Ferguson and Wenger and all these guys. Managers, respectfully to Arteta, should be the most disposable in this current day and age. And what I mean by that is it's all a head coach thing now. You know, the structures off the field. You know, you look at City, I'm not going to sit here and say they can keep dominating without Pep, but they're probably going to be in a position where they're equipped to at least have a good go of succession planning to a degree, potentially Liverpool. I'm not sure with Liverpool because Michael Edwards is skating and whatnot. That's what it needs to be. We need to get to a place where our philosophy is ingrained, playing good football, all the building blocks that Arteta has introduced and we've had under Wenger and previously, and a new manager just reflects that. You have your stability on the field. You have people above board that know when it's time to maybe replace a player or start thinking about replacing players, or bring in certain sort of players, or just not necessarily making sporting decisions that the manager should, but just learning from hindsight and foresight, then that is what's going to see you get top 4 and do things above that, really. So let's just take time with it. Let's just cool off for a bit. But who knows, man? It is, boy, we went from getting relegated in it this season to a man having conversations like that. But yeah, man, there's a lot to be accomplished. Smack the like button if you haven't. Twitch gang, keep doing what you're doing, man. He asked the United fan that analysis don't count. You're a bad guy. I'm here for it, man. Who would you replace XHAKA with? I just kind of said it, man. If you could bring Awa, if you could bring Matheus Nunes, if you can bring Fabian Ruiz, if you can bring people of this caliber, then why not? But I don't think it's necessarily replacing XHAKA, because I wouldn't. If XHAKA wants to leave, he can, but I wouldn't necessarily force him out. It's just you're kind of demoted to the squad sort of role. Whether his ego can handle that, whether he wants to do that in a World Cup year is another thing, people. And that's an interesting one as well, the World Cup year. You know, Cedric, you've got into the team just from Portuguese team, Reback in there just from playing for us. Leno, obviously, you're not in the German team. You know, if you're Lokonga, who's called up to Belgium with not playing, is that going to be the case next year? Tavares, if you're looking over there at Cedric and saying, yo, maybe if I played some football, I could get a World Cup chance playing with Portugal, provided they get there. You know, there's a lot of interesting things to be said, really. It is what it is, man. Interesting one. So I don't know who necessarily, but yeah, man, I hope that answers your question, really. If it hasn't, then sincerely I apologize, bro. Mad clubs, rather disrespect. Mad clubs, man. All right, well, go on, Killy. I hope you're doing well and safe. Be proactive, not reactive. Again, there you have it. There you have it. Big up Graham Claudwell. That just seems like a trustworthy name, you know. I don't know. You don't even know what you look like, but your name just sounds like you're trustworthy. I hope that's the case. In a selfish way, I'm glad Gabriel and Saka, and that's another thing. Obviously, we've seen Saka not really get opportunities. Well, not Saka. Yeah, Saka's got COVID. Gabriel, it's nothing unfortunate because he's having a child, but he can't play for Brazil. Smith Rowe's touch and go, things like this. And it would have been good to see all of them play along. Tomiyasu not there with Japan. It would have been nice that if Ramsdale, with Saka, with Smith Rowe, with Gabriel, if all of them could have been playing to go with whatever. If I haven't said it already, shout Tini for scoring for Scotland. But you're right, in a selfish way, you know, we need to keep them fit. I would have loved if Smith Rowe could stay fit, because I feel obviously, you know, he's had a couple of knocks and things like that. I feel if he could have got opportunities, he could have used this not as a mini pre-season, but shake some sort of cobwebs out, get your little minutes for against Ivory Coast and Switzerland, and then return back to Arsenal, maybe a bit fitter and sharper going into this last 10-game showdown. Arthur Melo, bring him. I message you, man. I've been linked with Awa since I was in year 9. Raw. Well, how old are you now? Bloody hell. Bring him. You know what we saying? You're going uni now. Hopefully we get that one there, man. There's an opportunity to see XHAKA improve with some. There's an opportunity to see XHAKA improve with some competition. He seems like that kind of done, but we definitely need some serious upgrades. I can't lie. Let me see if I can find the meme, bro. I can't lie. You're not wrong, but brother, I'm not gonna cap. Reading that, this is what I saw in my head. Sometimes you lot say stuff, and this is what I see, bro. Man, ain't trying to hear that, man. Like, I'm not trying to hear that one, bro. Like, I can't lie. That's a bad thing to me, man. Bro, I'm not trying to hear that, fam. Like, I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear that, brother. Like, I can't hear that, man. Allow me, man. Allow me. I'm not trying to hear that, man. I hear that with XHAKA improving. I'm not trying to hear that, man. Listen, you're not Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, all these young lads, bro. Like, all these young lads, bro. He's 29. To a degree, what you see is what you get. I don't think XHAKA is terrible. I don't think he's amazing. I do think some stuff that he gives to Arsenal is very underappreciated and underrated, and people are very vocal to condemn him when he makes mistakes and not vocal to give him his praise. That being said, the tail of the side of the same coin is, you know, as much as I believe that, You know, I think it speaks volumes that we're relying on people like XHAKA, and it kind of sums up things. He's not a bad player, but when you're relying on your midfield to run through him, you're going to get mixed results. Lacazette, he's not a bad player, but when you're relying on him to get goals, I know he does the general play, but let's be honest, strikers have to score goals. You're going to get mixed results, you know? So there you have it. And respectfully, at 29, turning 30 this year, what really are we going to see? You know, I've seen a man play this advanced midfield role. I've seen him play deep line. I've seen him being a left back, seen him being a centre half. He is decent in the squad, and competition does raise everyone. But brother, I'm not trying to hit it. It's done, fam. Like, it's done. Like, what you see is what you get. He's 29, 30, which basically 30 this year, man. Like, it is what it is. You know, love him or hate him, it is what it is. Man, have to sign a better midfielder. XHAKA, I wouldn't force him out. If he wants to leave and flirt with Italian teams and do his thing, then do what you need to do. You've been a good servant. You know, I've never had to, for the club. I've never had to doubt your integrity to the cause, etc., etc. But man, I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I ain't trying to hear it, Toby, man. He can be useful in the squad, especially if we do get into Europe and there's fixture calendar lists in that. The problem is, would you want to sit on the bench in a World Cup here? And again, XHAKA, it's an ego thing, bro, man. Whatever you say, XHAKA is one of the first names on Arsenal's team sheet. You know, when Arteta is picking his team, he's picking that back five when they're all fit, XHAKA and Saka, you know, and everyone else, it is what it is. So I wouldn't, if I'm him and I've been given a new deal and all the noise we hear internally is what he does for the club and, you know, and these sort of things, I'm not sitting on the bench, you know. It's fuck his ego, you know. It's about the team. But I'm not sitting. I'm trying to keep it moving. And I kind of get annoyed about stuff like this because our midfield is hinged on what Granit Xhaka is doing. So if he wants to accept being a squad player, rotation option, don't get twisted. If a man forces his way into the team and he does his thing, then it is what it is. But yeah, man, I just think with what ODEGAARD's bringing to the table, what Smith Rowe brings into the table in that role, the potential of both of them being able to long-term play as eights, Partey finding his form now, you know, I think we need to marry ODEGAARD and Partey in particular with a number 8 or 8s, because again, first choice is finding a certified 11, but we need to find a squad as well. So I say 8s, but first thing first and 8. So I think it's a that thing. And as I was saying yesterday, I don't know about anyone else, but I know defense wins you titles. I know strikers win you games. With, you know, Lacazette is, you know, is what it is with Lacazette. Smack the like button, people. But we know Lacazette is not the long-term 9. We clearly know with what Arteta is saying, man, are looking for a striker and a particular sort. So whether we bring one in or not is another thing. But we know we're looking for a striker. Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, even Pepe off the bench here and there if he stays. All of, you know, we got ODEGAARD. We got little things building in the final third. We're not all the way there yet. We've got little things building. We've got our defense. We've got how our defense defends and the new sort of mentality around how they want to defend and all them sort of things there. In terms of playing out from the back, we know with RAMSDALE, we know with the fullbacks, Tomiyasu, if it's going to be narrow, Tierney's had to be a bit more narrow playing with Cedric, but typically he provides the width. I still think our centre halves have to probably do a bit too much more passing because we ain't got that 8. But my main point is the middle third of our pitch ain't there. And again, Partey's finding his form. XHAKA's been good, but let's be real, over the full season, it's been mixed. Why do you think we've seen mixed performances and mixed results? I need to see midfield. And I go back to last summer. We did have a good rebuild. But on the face of it, how much did we really rebuild? Because Partey's found his form, but there's still that cloud over. Is he going to do it for a while? XHAKA, what is, you know, is he gonna, you know how it is with XHAKA, the striker thing. Obviously, Aubameyang was here, but you get the point. We didn't the key sort of positions and the experienced players, they have some sort of marks over their names in it. So I think it's a that thing really and truly. And at them times there, we was linked with Locatelli. XHAKA was keeping it moving. I felt, all right, cool. Would have been it for me. I really, for the last few years on this YouTube channel, all you see me say is I need a centre mid, need a centre mid, need a centre mid. So I don't think Arsenal get anywhere until they sign a number 8 who is going to receive the ball consistently off the centre halves and turn. I like that Partey's finding his feet, but as you see, Partey's a 6. Let him do his 6 stuff first. Anything he does beyond that, whether it's scoring headers, you know, improving his shots, passing the ball, let him do his thing. But that's him. We need that number 8, who can relieve pressure when we're playing sides, we're getting suffocated, who can break down low blocks, who can allow Odegaard, Smith Rowe, all these players not to drop further, deeper and deeper and deeper, who can actually allow the centre halves, because we do overcompensate. Let's be honest, we overcompensate with Gabriel and Ben White punching the balls forward, because we ain't really got that. XHAKA can play a pass, but he needs a million years. Partey, it's not his skill set, and we don't really have anything else. So, and we play out of wide areas. I still think to be able to play through central areas with Odegaard and these guys, you need that number 8 in it. So, yeah, fam. It's one of them ones, in it. So, I would say that, man. Martinelli and Tite will improve with a better left-sided midfielder. I like the partnerships we got there going down there, man. I can't lie, in terms of listen, as I said, I wish you could play 12 players. I'm not going to lie. Martinelli is one of the first names on the team sheet, Brazil bias, but I do prefer the partnership between Tierney and Smith Rowe. I just think it's a bit better. It's a bit less one-dimensional. Smith Rowe's ball retention is a bit better. If I'm honest with you, I do prefer it, but we've got different options. But as I was saying, bro, we don't sign a mid. Again, I don't know anything. I'm just a football fan. But if we don't bring in a midfielder for me, then the progress is only going to go so far, bro. You look at beyond the obvious, beyond the clear obvious, between the clubs. You look at Chelsea's midfield, Kovacic. I know Jorginho, man, get onto him, but Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, there's levels. City are City. Look at what they've got. Liverpool, look at what they've got. Not even necessarily with Liverpool, the glamorous guys. They've got guys that are safety first. Fabinho, Henderson, Keita. They've got the more expansive Thiago. They've got little things they can chop and change with what they're doing. And we need to have that. We need that. Obviously, the first thing is to find the 30-11, but you need depth. As you know, Tomiyasu is our guy, but if he gets injured at a moment like this, shout out to Cedric, but who's coming in? Ramsdale, who's coming in? This time we're lucky that it's Leno. I don't know nothing about Matt Turner. He might be the truth, but I don't know nothing about it. My Americans and North American friends over in this chat, you lot can educate me. I don't know nothing about Matt Ryan until he gets an opportunity. So I don't know how levels he is. So again, first choice 11's the key. Then it's a case of depth. So we're going to have to see how that one develops, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, what are you lot saying, people? Yeah, obviously not safety first, but you know what I mean in that when you're playing Henderson, Fabinho, and maybe Keita, you're not necessarily trying to be that mad expansive in midfield now, are you? You're trying to just kind of hold on to the ball. I know what you're saying, though, and then obviously you change it up. My point being, there's just different options, bro. Like there's games where if it's a low block, you might not necessarily one day need Partey. You might say, do you know what? Let's play 3 10s, let's play 3 8s, let's play 2 8s and a 10. Equally, there might be games where you need to do this stability thing. You say, all right, you know what? It's 2 6s, or it's 2 6s and a 10, or it's 6s and a box-to-box man or something. Again, it's 38 games. As you've seen, there's different sort of things. Sometimes Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Martinelli, these guys haven't been the answer. Sometimes they have, Other players have stepped. It's a long season, man. Just think about how long this season's been already and the many mini seasons Arsenal have had within this. If you don't believe me, go and look back to what you lot were probably saying in August, in September, in so on and so on and so on, innit? So, yeah, man, I just feel we sign a midfielder, we go up a level. And I can't lie, in the summer, if we don't sign a centre mid, once again, my faith is only so far. Because I think the day I really, really believe in stuff is when we get a midfielder. Listen, I believe in what Arteta is doing. He knows more about football than me. But what I do know is that I still think there's a lot of answers as well as questions in midfield. I mean, a lot of questions as well as needing answers. Some answers have been provided in midfield, but there's still a lot of questions. Our director of football and our manager were midfielders. So that's the one place I would have thought, it would have been assurance. So we'll have to see, man. I don't know. I'd hope Arsenal are built to attack through central areas, but right now, as I said, our goals come from wide areas. Odegaard might sponsor it, but primarily they're coming from wide areas. I do think Arteta is trying to do the Wenger ball thing, and I'm seeing a bit of progress, but yeah, we got a long way to go, man. Smack the like button. We're at 75 likes, people. What are you lot saying? Yo, DG, what signings do you think we should make if we don't make top 4? Obviously, the money you get from Europe and things like that can affect things. But for me, Pardon me. I don't think we should have a list of targets, and I don't think ARTETA will have a list of targets that differentiate really. Alex, I'm not explaining that to you, but what you can do is listen. I think it's very self-explanatory, really and truly. I think Bellingham number 8 and Haaland one can dream, but realistically, Darwin Nunez, Fabian Carvalho, or Fabian Ruiz. You know what? Carvalho seems like he's going down Merseyside. Matt Turner is all right. Only time will tell if he's ready. Exactly, and I hope he's the best second choice keeper in the world, really. But I don't know nothing about him. We need 2 strikers, 1 or 2 midfielders, and a right back. Smash the likes, people. We should be closing in on 200. Unexpected high bills due if you don't hit that. I'd take McGinn. I like him, but I do kind of hate him a bit after his antics when we buck them. But it ain't nothing personal. It's just business. If we get champs, no excuses to revamp this midfield. I think we get Yuri Tillemans. I mean, you did hear Edu has had conversations with Darwin Nunez, his agent, Jonathan Davids, Arthur Mellows, and Tillemans. Conversations doesn't mean much. Everybody has conversations with everyone, but you'd imagine we're on that case. XHAKA has been consistent for 7 years. This is the only season we can say he's playing okay, even though he's had reds and made bad decisions. So I wouldn't mind him leaving that. Bit harsh. Bit harsh. It is what it is. XHAKA's pride will not allow him to hold bench. But that's the thing. He's very humble, man. I understand this is a squad game, really and truly. I swear, even at a point this season, there was a time where XHAKA wouldn't necessarily have got his midfield place back, but he did, didn't it? Time to move on. Divorce papers are signed. Plenty more fish. The question, DG, is did you sell XHAKA in your Football Manager save? Define selling. What is selling a player? Is selling necessarily letting a player go, or is it just, you might come to an agreement that you're both trying to do different things? So I don't know what selling actually means. So I can neither confirm nor deny I've actually sold Granit Xhaka in any Football Manager save, if I'm honest with you. But what I can say with Granit Xhaka is he's a model professional. Big up C, shout the members. As she said, make sure we're hitting the likes. There's 300 of you and we ain't even got 100 likes, man. Engagement levels just don't rate me. YouTube don't rate me. This is why I like Twitch. Twitch do their business, man. Come on, Twitch, man. But anyways, DG's pet XHAKA patience has run fit. It's not even that. It's like, bro, man, love the club, bro. I told you lot in the summer, for me, the gloves off. I don't care who feels unfair about not playing and this, that. Man just want to win games, and I think XHAKA can help you, but I don't think XHAKA can be the guy. Like, XHAKA is all right, nothing more. No, bro, XHAKA isn't improving. As DG said, match squad player or send him packing to Roma. Oh, man, they're not trying to hear that, man. Big up you, son of Chelsea, man. I hope uni's going well, man. It's good to see our players being called up for national teams. It shows how Arsenal's progressing, but I would be glad if Arsenal signed Haaland and Renato Sanchez. Trust. Pass some of the Cali. DG, you watch him debate about... Brother, I spoke about it. Kelson, I'm tired of these... Forgive me, my older heads, but I'm tired of the older generation doing this bullshit, man. Like, even Gerard, Gerard, are you proud to be 40 years of age? And you said, a man said, I'm 40 years of age. I struggle to run and walk and stuff at times. I've got pain in my hip. I've had 16 operations. Bro, at 40 years of age, forget football. As 40 years of age, is that how someone wants to live, bro? Saka is going to get kicked. Saka, I'm hearing them talk crap. What's the longest Saka's ever missed out since he's busted in our first team? How many weeks has he been missing? Probably, I think, 2-3 weeks at max. He's always durable. He gets kicked every weekend. He's back next game. Saka is not asking for special protection. He's just asking that man, protect, and not just him, protect all of these players, bro. What's going on? I'm tired of these dons. I'm tired of these guys. I got kicked, so you should. The game's changed, bro. Man are allowed to get haircuts in a certain way. People can be friends if they play for Arsenal, United, or whatever. You don't just need to run around and fly into mad tackles to act like you care. There's so much, pardon my French, bullshit in today's day and age that is still there. It's jarring, man. Chatting shit. But they know that they're going to get engagement levels, so we need to start ignoring ish like this. But it's difficult, man. It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. Nonsense, man. That's my opinion on that. Nonsense. Tired. ESPN, what's that in America? Well, you might as well. Shout me, man. Yeah, if you're getting nowhere with this, you know where to go, man. Keep it moving, bro. DG, do you think Tite coming to Arsenal can have a big impact? I don't know, because I don't know we're gonna get into it, but I don't know the specifics around what he's coming to do, really. You know, is he coming for a specific role, or is Edu scratching the back of his partners in that? Midfield of Partey, Neville, and Odegaard would be wavy. Not gonna lie, I'd be happy with Bellerin as second right back. I'm kind of hoping he comes back after his loan. I mean, he sounds like a player that's gone already. Listen, big up to Bellerin. Big up to Bellerin for speaking about things that are going on in society and that. And big up to him for being homegrown, but man, I have to keep it moving. I would love, he wouldn't. You know, I know he came from Barcelona, but Hayland or academy graduate, who wouldn't love for Bellerin to come back, look like a new player and fight Tomiyasu? But he's contracted until 2023. The writing's on the wall probably for him, Nelson, Maitland-Niles, Leno. You know, there's only a couple of 2023s that you could make a case might get new deals. In fact, I say a couple. The only one I think of off the top of my head is actually the gaffer, Mikel Arteta. Ward-Prowse wouldn't mind that. Not to mess with y'all, is there a standout XHAKA 90 minutes performance man can look up? I mean, United, definitely a couple of times when we beat Man United, a lot of times against Chelsea, if I'm completely honest with you. Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, in the FA Cup final, definitely a couple of games. Well, when we played City, XHAKA's had a lot of good games. That's one thing I can't. XHAKA's had a lot of bad games, but he's also had a lot of good games. But, you know, there's not going to be any games I think, wow, like, when I think of XHAKA, like, yo, this thing, that, this and that and the other. And that if I think of Smith Rowe at the moment, Chelsea sticks out. North London Derby sticks out. Saka, many games stick out. You know, Martinelli, United sticks out for me. You know, the game, was it Watford where he scored? There's, you know, for me, when we lost to City in the Cup, he ain't got none of that. Like, he ain't got that. DJ's at the club or not. Define being at the club, man. Define being at the club, man. Define being at the club. To be fair, Jack's not the first player that goes. It's dead, bro. Forget all of that. Forget all of that. Like, man, don't want to get kicked. It's not even that. Forget football for a sec. Saka's in his early 20s. Max, he's going to be playing till like 35. You know, that's 15 years max for most ballers. Saka, all right, cool. Some man come through at 16, 17. You can be specific. You're going to be a granddad, an uncle, you know. You're gonna be somebody's husband. You're just gonna, bro. You need to operate in society. I don't know what Saka's plans are with his life, but come on, man. Is that anything to be screamed? Bro, man, I said they got 16 operations. Bloody hell, bro. You probably don't even feel certain things again. You know how much times your body's been cut open and that. And we all know on the best of days, a lot of these footballers are gonna get madnesses. Crazy one, man. It's like watching children talk. That's the new thing, bro. Again. Hopefully it continues. Arsenal's form hasn't been toilet, so they have to get onto us for celebrating. They have to get onto Saka asking for more protection. They have to get onto things like this because there's nothing legitly to draw us out with on the field. We're not giving them their free clout about, you know, if we was in a losing bit of run, where do Arsenal go from here? Is Mikel Arteta the man? The rumours of bust-ups, you know, Kroenke out, this, that, and the third. It's crazy, man. I would be happy to terminate XHAKA's contract in the summer. His ego is too big to be fair choice, and he will always have these foolish tackles and fouls in him, send him on his way. I mean, don't you think we've been cancelling too many a contract? It's pretty simple. XHAKA is a 6 out of 10 player, but has moments of madness, just not Arsenal material. Nice guy. XHAKA is great. I don't know why people don't like him. I miss the old Bellerin. Shame I had to get to this trust. I worry about the midfield when XHAKA doesn't feature. I think for the current form of momentum we have, XHAKA is important for it. And exactly, and that's my point. The very fact that the midfield is relying on him, that tells you part of the problem, in my opinion. Too many dinosaurs in this pundit thing, man. That's kind of what I was getting at. At least you could recall the average ones. But the thing is, exactly that. Florian Wirtz, it's unfortunate, man. He's been having a good season, but he's out for a long period of time. So you probably have to see how he recovers then, man. DG, I think a good summer would be Nunez, Leao, Ruiz, and Adams. What, Che Adams dead that, man. Would offer Real a loan for Jovic. He can be a second option and might kickstart his career like Odegaard did. I'm on that. I don't know about the Che Adams one, though, brother. Arsenal should sign Kane in the summer. I mean, it'd be audacious. If there was a possibility, of course, I would try, but you got to be smoking something in it, really. Why not, man? Why not? Appreciate you lot for sending support, man. Big up the YouTube ones. Twitch, don't feel forgotten. Again, you guys are my favorites, man. Pundits are just a reflection of the company they speak for. Exactly. And they're paid to chat shit. A lot of them don't even, bro, as obviously in my little advancements in this thing, bro, man, see bare things. There's just people that just chat shit because they're just chatting shit. There's people that I call them whores because they've got no integrity. They've got nothing. It's like I could sit here and have that. We could be talking how we're talking off camera, but the camera spins and then I'm saying something completely different to drive engagement or lie. There's certain people that just know they're chatting shit and then they just chat shit. And there's some people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, but man, no, there's engagements, there's things going on. So I'm going to just get them to talk. There's just bare things, man. Oh, Tyler, if it's Tyler Adams, I'm not really for it, but he can sit on the bench. I'm not really for that, man. Southampton's the best place for Che, if I'm honest with you, man. All right, Tyler, he could be, but is he a centre mid or a right back? I kind of want Dons that. Are you a right back, but you can play midfield? Are you a midfielder that can play right back? I don't know that with Tyler Adams, and I don't really feel him, man. That 25 million, you slap a bit more on that, you might as well see what Leicester are saying for Telemans 2023, you know, our 2023, you know, Ruiz 2023, that 25 mil, you might as well slap some change on that and see what can be done, in my opinion. Does Nelson still pay for us? He's got a jet. I can't lie. I'll do anything for Nelson to have one more opportunity. Literally one more. But for his sake, he probably just got to go somewhere where he can stay for a couple of years, feel important, do your thing. Would you take Dybala? I would love Dybala. It seems like he's getting into Milan though, and you know, it is where it's a bit like João Felix in that I would love both of them, but are they exactly what we need away from their ability and their evident talent? Maybe not. They're not specifically strikers or number 8. Do you think no, bro? Man, want ballers, bro. I don't want to down at this club. To be fair, if you want to come be a right back, I'll get with it. But no, bro, no, man. We're finally getting some ballers again. Man can't be dealing with Adama's breakdancing down the right hand side, man. He looks like that. What's that wedge done in America, man? The Wham done. I think he changed his name from like dancing or whining gorilla or something, which that's a bit mad as a black man to call yourself that, but cool. He just reminds me of him, but with a blonde wig on. Like, he's meaty, man. Have you seen? Well, Galatasaray, I know Xavi was resting players, but Sergio Dest and Adama Traore was on the right-hand side. Meaty. No, man. DJ, I'm a bit slow on current players. Anyone in the Vlas/Laka build type player? Not that I can think of on the top of my head. Do you think Gnabry as a false 9 will work if he signed for us? Yeah. Gnabry can play everywhere across the front 4 positions. Right, left, cam. Could do your false 9. But, yeah, man. It is what it is. We'd all love Verts, man, but looks like I'm as I can think of 2 XHAKA moments, the De Gea screamer and the Mignolet screamer. Yeah, and you know, and the banger against Thingy, the banger against Hull as well. I get why people don't rate XHAKA, but realistically, he's a big part of our team, and I think we should keep him for the next 2 years. I wouldn't force him out, but I mean, if he's going to be a key part of the team, as you said, for the next 2 years, then I think that says everything. And as much as we're talking about revamping for the future, you've got a 29-year-old contracted until 2024, I believe, and his future is quite volatile year in, year out. As much as internally something's different, I don't think that's really long-term building. Again, as much as I understand what XHAKA brings to the table, whether you like it or not, I do think there's overcompensating, you know, being a key part of the squad. Everyone can be a key part of the squad. Being good for the young players, being a leader. Everyone should be a leader in their own way. You know, can I answer the factor from 38 games? Do I think a partnership with XHAKA and Partey is really good enough? No. Right now, it's doing the job, but I don't. So it is what it is in that regards, really. That it's a crazy one, man. Smack the like button, people. Anyways, you know, we're enjoying this conversation, but let's see what's been said in terms of Tite and all of these sort of things. Let me make another timestamp quickly. Let's call that general Arsenal thoughts. Underrated. Now, what's the time here? Let's call that 3:39. Let's start with transfer news and all this other stuff, people. But yeah, keep your opinions coming. Partey and Sambi next season. Sometimes Vlahovic really made the wrong choice. I would love him at Arsenal, but how? You know, apparently he wanted Juventus. That's the boyhood club, and that ain't really making you the worst choice now, is it, man? So yeah, man, let's get this stuff up on the thing now. I mean, Sergio Dest can stay at, well, he can cool off at Barca. I don't think that's what I want. Tite is already in talks with Arsenal over taking up a role at the club after the World Cup in Qatar, with veteran boss enjoying a close relationship with technical director Edu. So he's not joining until the end of the year. Now, obviously, 60 years of age, I'm sure there's a wealth of experience he could provide to Arsenal. I'm sure there's a wealth of expertise he could provide. It strengthens our South American ties. He must actually have some contacts in that. I don't know. The only thing is, what is his role? What's his specific role at the club? Is he a consultant? Is he going to be full-time? Obviously, if he's joining at the end of the year, then at least we're planning for really next season. He's not going to be a part of it or be able to assist in any sort of way. So, you know, what is it? He could just be a scout for all we know. We don't know anything. But apparently he's reportedly in negotiations about a job at Arsenal. He's set to leave his position as Brazil boss after the World Cup. Apparently, this Gobo journalist, Eric Farah, says the 60-year-old could be heading to Arsenal. Obviously, he and Edu worked closely at Corinthians as well as Brazil. Apparently, they state once again he's got a good relationship with Edu from their time working together. The reporter did not suggest what role Tite is in negotiations for, although taking over as manager would be highly unlikely. Exactly, like obviously he doesn't tie in with what we're doing. Yeah, he's got experience, but he's 60. You know, it's not going to bang. You've got a young squad. It's not going to bang. So again, what is his role? You know, is this actually true? Two, is he going to take over from Edu? Are they going to make him have a role like Edu? Is he just going to be a consultant? Is he potentially going to be a manager? Where again, we don't know, you know, which I don't think he's going to be our manager. I think I would rule that one out. But what is his actual position at the football club? I don't know. This Donny already said there's already a negotiation for Tite to work in English football, to work at Arsenal. He worked with Edu. There's the intention. Negotiations have started. He's been in charge of Brazil since 2016. He won the Copa America in 2019. He reached the quarterfinals in the 2018 World Cup. Although he has a lengthy managerial career that has also included stints at clubs as Corinthians and Internazionale, he has never managed in Europe, and he was recently in Abu Dhabi as well, people, where maybe he wants to work there. If Tite was to take charge of Arsenal, it would be somewhat surprising. And I think a part of this might be, as I said just when we spoke about this, because of the contract. So we don't know. It could be West. He could just be a consultant. He could be someone that's going to work as a technical director. He could be just a scout. This could all just be West. I don't know what it is, people. So that's that. Where's the actual article, though, man? Where's the actual article? Where are you? Can't find. I actually had the article from ESPN, but it's probably just going to relay the same old things, people. So that's that. Let me actually try and recover that, man, because it might actually have something. Oh, there it is. Bugging out, people. There it is. It's fully there. So I don't know what is. Let's zoom in a bit. I know you lot can't see because I can't see. Google Translate, people. This is the actual article. Google has translated the thing, man. So yeah, we already know. Allegedly, there's already negotiations for this Donny to arrive. You know, obviously they've got history together. You know, doesn't say anything. It's a bit of an overkill. It doesn't. So when I see that, I have to believe it's Was. Now I don't know if it's Was, but I have to believe that can't. You know, what we don't know what he's doing there. You know, is there a bust up between Edu, I'm playing devil's advocate now. Edu and Arteta are at loggerheads, and he's looking at a new gaffer, and where I don't really believe that, because I personally feel Arteta's got more clout and more, more strength, and more his words hold a bit more weight within the Arsenal structure than Edu, because logically they've made him they've made him manager, not head coach, and Arteta's been bringing results. You know. What has Edu done? He's cancelled a lot of contracts. I have to give Edu some sort of credit for the summer last summer, but is it any coincidence? Edu, we vetoed a lot of the players Edu wanted. Arteta's talent ID said he wanted these sort of players. We brought in that new Donny, Richard Garlick, who helps with negotiations and contracts. Any coincidence we're able to deal with English clubs a bit better? Once upon a time, we tried to grab Zaha, it didn't bang. We tried to get Kabay from Newcastle, it didn't bang. We just went and got Ramsdale and Ben White, whether we overpaid or it was easy to get or not. So what is Edu's legacy? What has Edu brought to the table that is obvious for us fans that are not internally knowing what people are doing? You can see it with Arteta. You don't necessarily know with Edu. So yeah, man, I do think we might come to a position where Edu might have to become obsolete purely because I just feel with the structure of what we're doing now, I just feel maybe if Arteta had an experienced guy in Edu's role, no disrespect to Edu, because I'd love for him to do it. We could do a lot, like even in Jan. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying to bring people in for no reason, but maybe a technical director who's got a bit more experience, knows how to finesse things, got a bit more contacts in his book and whatnot. You know, he might be able to finesse a loan even for a striker. Because as much as it's great that Eddie and Nketiah and Lacazette are getting opportunities and we're doing all right, we're all going to look at that period, rightly or wrongly. You know, it's commendable not bringing people in for the sake of bringing it in, a mistake we made. But yeah, man. All Edu's done, Edu ain't really sold no one. He ain't really brought people in. You know, what's he done really? That evident to us fans. You can kind of see evident with others. And very rarely do you see an inexperienced manager, an inexperienced technical director. It's normally one or the other. So it just feels like naturally Edu's role could become obsolete. That's just me as an ignorant fan. So yeah, man. That's that in relation to Tite to Arsenal. Arteta links to City, such as the set piece goal, seem to be more beneficial to us than Edu's link. I big up Omar afternoon, my guy. Swap Edu for Wenger. In theory, it sounds good, but Wenger's got too much emotional attachment to this football club, so I don't know if he's going to make the right decisions, really and truly. Tite saw some of that bread Edu is making and said, I'm a million times better than that youth. Would you like Rafinha to join? Why not? Tite coming for that Darren Fletcher type role. Nobody knows. Shout out the Twitch gag, but I hear it. He better not be taking up the manager position. I don't think it's a that thing, because he'll be coming in November. Like, unless Arteta has said, I'm not signing a new deal and I'm busting out the end of next season, it's nothing to worry about. Brother, trust me, you know, man need to talk to Anthony. Need to get that one done. Pardon me. Need to go get Cedric. Go over there and speak to the Brazilian/Portuguese Matheus Nunes. What's the best league in the world? Premier League, Spanish League, or German League? Prem, man. Brexit settings, mate. We got the best league in this in the world, mate. And if they don't like it, go back to where you came from. Wouldn't mind Tite at Arsenal. I feel we should be working the South American market a bit better. Amen. But again, it's all about the role. I'm not gonna cap. Don't want him as manager. Why is this man on the stream not putting in his CV for the job? I appreciate that, but I got no leg to stand on, bro. It's easy to sit and give my opinion. If Arteta does leave in 2023, who should replace him? I don't know, but maybe people are looking at Mancini now. I know he said now's not the time to talk about his future, and the Italian chiefs have kind of the Italian FA chiefs have kind of said, you know what, you still got your role, but who knows, man. I think the summer is where we really judge Edu. Again, you're right, because he said himself, we now need probably one or two more targets. Arteta has, in indirect ways, said we need a goal. We need to score 100 goals. We need a striker who can score goals. And this is coming from, you clearly look at Arteta, he wants a multifunctional guy. Are you able to do that, Edu? We hear Edu's talking with this guy, with that guy, and the third, and you've got to give him some credit of last summer, but we're now needing to see. We're going to have to see, man. We're going to have to see. So hopefully a thing happens, man. But I would say for Edu, all I want from you, Saka new deal, Martinelli new deal, Saliba new deal, bring my centre mid, bring my striker, and you lot, when I say Edu, you lot collab and make this thing happen. And do you know what? In fact, tell a lie, the biggest where I'm going to judge Edu is his hustling abilities. Because how we sell to a degree is going to indirectly impact what we're doing. I'm not expecting a man to do everything, but Leno's got one foot out the door. Torreira's got a foot out the door. Bellerin's got a foot out the door. Ainsley Maitland-Niles' foot out the door. You know, there'll probably be some other things going on. So can you get some money for a couple of these players? Can you do something, you know? So we'll have to see. Yeah, that's Tite. Arsenal fans in Cape Town, South Africa at the moment. Shout out to you lot. Who's Arsenal's best signing at the moment? Not a clue, man. There's enough good players, man. Out the summer duns. I really do like Tomiyasu. I think Odegaard's been very good. Probably recency biased. Ramsdale's there. Ben White's been good. I don't know, you know. I'd say Tomiyasu or Ramsdale for me. Tomiyasu because it's just so refreshing to have someone competent and consistent at right back. So we're not chatting on that no more. Ramsdale because of the same logic, and obviously he's come and been a character and all these things. But I think everybody's added something, man. Everyone's had it. You know, at a time people were saying it was Lokonga and Tavares and that Ben White's found his way, Odegaard. Do you know what? Immediately, I would say Ramsdale and Tomiyasu. Medium to long term, I would say Odegaard. I don't know if it's reliable, man. We're just reliable, unreliable. All we can do is talk about it, man. And we did. I don't know. Even if it is reliable, what's the feasibility? Because he's doing his thing at the World Cup. I don't know about that, but fair play. But I think Sambi is Partey's replacement for the long-term future. So do I, man. He'll get there. We just need to take time with him. Let him develop, man. 140 likes, very appreciative. Keep running that up. We should at least be at 200, man. What's going on? I would love us to get Benassia back, but don't he look like he's signing a new deal over them sides? Big up the Twitch gang as well, man. You lot love behaving, so I don't need to ask you lot to do anything, man. Join the Twitch revolution. That right back bias. To be fair, I am a fullback, but a man gonna sit here and say Tomiyasu's not been a revelation. I know he's been injured, but all of you lot were wanking over, he becomes a narrow fullback and teeny bums forward and this, that, and the other. I'm not gonna lie, we all change it. You know, if you ask around now, Odegaard's name's probably ringing a bit more bells. There was a time man was saying Lokonga, man was saying Tavares. It's good, really, you know, that we're having this. Tommy is not wavy, but as you said, some men are piano pushers and not piano players, and they're both vital. I love Tommy, but for me, Odegaard, and that's it as well. I would, like I said, medium to long term, and I think with what Arteta is trying to do, I think it's Odegaard. I think in terms of immediate, probably Ramsdale and Tomiyasu, because the whole team's improved defensively, and one love to Odegaard for how he presses and things. He's been a revelation, but we finally got a competent, decent and consistent defense, and that is where everything. Think about, if you're building a house, you need the best foundation. There's no point talking about what lick of paint you're putting on the walls, how many TVs. If the foundation's not good, it's gonna collapse in it. The house is literally gonna cave in, unfortunately. So it's a very interesting one, man. I don't know, because I think they're all good, but I just feel with how we're trying to return to playing football and things like that, and in terms of kind of being a leader in that, I think Odegaard was really a good signing. Ramsdale immediately, competent keeper, leader, game management, all of that. Tomiyasu, just basic competencies and consistencies and durable and reliable and all these sort of things, really. You know, Lokonga will have his time. You know, Tavares will prove himself to be an okay option at left back. But yeah, that's what I feel, man. And it's interesting to see you lot. Tomiyasu, free Tomiyasu, can't wait till he's back. Or what was the other one? Ramsdale. Yeah, we spoke about Ozil. And it's for Aubameyang, man can look around and say, oh, okay, maybe it was just you and an Arteta thing, or it was an Arteta thing, or you was doing something mad. For Ozil, a lot of people are going to look at it and go, well, lepers don't change their spots, boy. Like, you know, you're over there in Turkey and that. Same old problems, man. Oh, like I said, foundations, man. We need to make sure we've got proper heat in the plumbing's. Well, now the plumbing's there. The plumbing's there. You're right. We're in the kitchen. We've got the plumbing and the heating and things now. Tavares and Sambi will develop further next season. If there's any form of European competition, they could be used in cup comps. Fact. So, yeah, man. Away from that, you've got Ben White hitting back at critics as well. Let's actually see what, you know, these lot have said in relation to other news. So let's close this. Don't forget, people, Arteta has been nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. Saka is up. I mean, man said player. Arteta is nominated for Manager of the Month in the Premier League. Saka for Player of the Month, and I think Martinelli for Goal of the Month. So make sure you all get voting and doing what we do, Arsenal fans. In relation to Saka, as you already know, he's a major doubt for the friendly against Switzerland tomorrow. Obviously, after getting COVID, in fact, not a major doubt. He won't be playing any part of that, will he? So it is what it is. I don't know how good the two American dons we've signed. I've never ever seen them, man. which is brazy. When you look at other stuff, once again, to go over Darwin Nunez, it feels like things are developing. Arsenal now have the money to meet club 66 million asking price for world-class striker. Edu opens talks. World-class is banged around way too often, and as you see there, shout to Saliba. Hopefully he can play for France today, as I said. According to a report from the Portuguese outlet Record, Arsenal have opened talks to sign Darwin Nunez from Benfica this summer. Scrolling all the way down, people. The report claims Edu has open talks with Nunez and the Uruguayan is listening to what Arsenal have to offer. He rejected West Ham and Newcastle not too long ago, but the report reveals that he's unlikely to say no to the Gunners. Benfica would love to keep hold of him, know very well that it's only a matter of time. They're ready to let him go, but only if their 66.7 million, in brackets 80 million euros asking price is there. The report claims Arsenal have no problem meeting that figure. So we'll have to see what's going on. He has the ability to maybe be that sort of striker, but I don't know if he's world class already. As you know, the Express said earlier this week, we held indirect talks with his agent around bringing the 22-year-old Uruguayan international to London in the summer, people. So, yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned. Arsenal make move for Darwin Nunez. Arsenal have reportedly made an approach to sign Darwin Nunez, people, which, again, we'll have to see what's going on here. So I don't think his wages and the fee would be an issue, but are we actually going for him? I don't know. Again, it's just Darwin Nunez. It says we've gone on the charm offensive. You know, we're doing a charm offense now to convince Nunez about joining our project. You know, and you got to remember United and a lot of other teams are looking at him. 26 goals in 33 this season, people. So we'll have to see. Again, Coutinho. Arsenal contact Barcelona midfielders camp over summer move. Again, I'm quite getting bored of the Coutinho one, really. So let's just skip past that, really. Edu Gaspar at the forefront of talks. Arsenal negotiations for shock move and replacement for Arteta. I mean, we spoke about this already, really and truly, and we don't know how Tite is going to fit in. In relation to Ben White responds to early criticism from Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. Ben White admits it was not a nice feeling to be singled out for criticism by Premier League greats Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, Premier League great. But says comments spurred him on as he looks to become a mainstay for Arsenal in England. Jamie Carragher, Premier League great. Maybe for the own goals, Premier League great. Just because he played for time don't mean a man's a Premier League great. What the fuck? Anyways, Ben White's gone on to do his thing. He said, I think it was the first time I've actually been singled out like that. It's not a nice feeling. It's not very good, but it just gave me more incentive to go out there and do well. Trust me, Love Island Maldini, not just a pretty face. And they don't let the tats fool you. He's as tough as old boots. Some of the stuff they said about me, they said was true in that game. It wasn't my best. But if I thought about it too much or kept listening to it back all the time, it would only affect me. So I tried to do better. This is what, bro, people are going to talk. Good or bad. They talked and said we didn't know what we was doing. Now, when you type in Arsenal, all they can do is praise. This is why you shouldn't listen to opinions. The same rope you climb with is the same rope they're hanging with. The same people that said it's overrated, Ben White, this, that, the same ones saying what a decent bit of money it's been for us. Don't listen to noise. In the same way, when the world was saying we don't see the process, we don't know why this money was spent, and it's, 150 million was spent. We don't know why it has been spent. It's not significantly improved. You lot did what you needed to do. And all that matters, well, his opinion matters because he called you up to play for England, finally again. But I would say the only opinion that matters is Arteta's. The fans matter, of course, what's going on. But Arteta's the one playing you. If Arteta's got faith in you, of course it might not be nice to see yourself drawn out on the TV or fans moving mad or seeing fans on socials. But keep your headspace. I don't think XHAKA's amazing, but Arteta's the one that believed in XHAKA. He's doing well. Ramsdale, people were saying, why'd you spend 30 million? Now they're breading. They say there's many a player that we could sit here and list this with as well. Getting called up shows what I am doing is really paying off. I was at a new club and wanted to start off well, but that didn't happen. But I took it game by game, playing as well as I can for Arsenal. The last time I got called up, I was straight into a tournament. So to come back in and be part of it again is a really nice feeling. Scrolling all the way down, he said that Maguire and Mings were amazing at the last Euros. Of course he's going to say that. Look what they did last summer, how amazing they were. Form is temporary. The way they train when I was here for the Euros was something that I'm aiming to try be like, yeah, I get it, man. You're not trying to draw out your... Ben White, fuck all of that. Them man, they are shit, man. Them man, they are shit. Ben White responds to being singled out by Ian Wright and David Seaman. What happened here now? The season was tough. I know I wasn't good enough at the start of the season and didn't put a very good performance in. I don't need anyone to tell me that. I never saw that bit. Big up you. Obviously, it's a massive issue for everyone if you are not playing well, but there are much bigger problems in the world. Exactly. As long as my family are safe and everyone is healthy, I think that is a much bigger issue. Listen, football, as I keep saying, football is so important. But at the end of the day, you're not doing open heart surgery. You have a bad game, who cares? Hold your L, slap yourself in the face for playing shit and move on. He said, but I think every year I've managed to prove that I'm good enough to play at the level I'm at, even though I've gone up the leagues. Getting called up again is really nice, and it shows what I've been doing this season is really paying off. I'm just focusing on playing as well as I can for Arsenal and see what happens with England. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. What's this? Well, yeah, we've been linked with Simic. That's a tomorrow thing. Well, I don't really believe them links, really, even though he's quite decent. XHAKA admits he's relieved his side won't come up against an informed Aaron Ramsdale and Saka in a friendly against England. What specifically did you say? We are happy that Saka and Aaron are not playing tomorrow. We are doing very well at the moment. There are still 9 games to play. We have to see what happens in those next games. And afterwards, you can ask me again how good the season was. Of course, they have good players in midfield, but for me, it's not like I've never played against them. I know them very well, played against them in the Premier League. And for me, it's not much a big difference to play against them for the national team. I think they have a very strong. Am I reading this right? I think they have a very strong, with a lot of young players, and they have experienced players as well. They had a very good Euros at home and lost the final. But I think that is it. We have to look to ourselves and try to beat England. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. Spoken like a true gaffer, DG. Appreciate that. Big up DG every time. Like and subscribe. Where the hell has that Tite rumor come from? ESPN. Allegedly. But we ain't got time for the Coutinho one, man. Looks like a hit and miss signing. This is going to be an ongoing story in the summer. Trust me. Man said, big up DG, big up XHAKA too. I hear it. He's definitely not world class, but there's a diamond there worth the gamble. His first touch can be awful. Aubameyang's first touch was horrible, bro. Put the ball in the back of the net, bro. Honestly, shout out to XHAKA for not pulling a XHAKA recently. He knows he's not levels, but has silently done his job next to Partey and has gone on with what Arteta demands. He's always gone on with what the gaffer demands of him. If I'm honest with you, there's no coincidence that there's been, in the recent years, we've seen Wenger, we've seen Arteta, we've seen Emre. Maybe this is why they've never kicked on, but they've all seen fit to start him and play him and utilize him. Like whatever you say, you can't say there's got to be something. You can like I just said, you can say, well, maybe, mate. That's why they're not. That's why we didn't get back into Europe, or none of them have quite had significant success or success up until a point. But at the same time, they all know about football more than us. There's got to be something, whether it's his leadership qualities or on all ability. What do you expect from Hutchinson in the future? Well, let him do his thing. He's a good player. Hopefully, by God's grace, he goes all the way, man. Get Darwin Nunez as soon as possible. He's young, and we need a striker of his height. I don't know who GD is, but whoever GD is, I hear that. I might sound harsh, but I kind of hated Ozil last few years. His PR was too much for me. Hate is a strong word. Peace and light, DG. Shout out to yourself, Sean. Bless up. Get a 9. Tighten up the midfield. Keep Thomas, but XHAKA's got a role. Get Tomiyasu fit. Sign up Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard. The team is young and confident, playing with no fear. There we have it. Who at Arsenal do you think could burst into the first team squad? Not a clue, man. But I'm sure at Hayland they know. Not a clue, man. Not a clue. They're gonna have to just wait and see, man. Kind of just answer. I don't know, bro. Don't spam. I don't know. Saw a Nunez compilation yesterday. What stood out was his decision making and putting in a lot of chances for his teammates. I like him a lot, man. You know, none of these strikers, especially us, none of the strikers we buy are going to be the finished article. You know, Laturo, whether you get Tammy, Laturo, Jonathan David, Darwin Nunez, Osimhen, all of them are going to need work. All of them. So it's just about what we're waiting to do with it. Hate is a very strong word. Hate is a strong word. Dislike, yeah. Whatever happens, whatever people think of XHAKA, he's a true professional. Just gets on with his business. No worse. I think that's what the manager's seeing him. And I just think he owns his mistakes, man. Like, XHAKA's problems have never been with his integrity, his professionalism, if I'm honest. Like, and that's not to big him up, because despite all of this, bro, you shouldn't be starting week in, week out. But you're not picking yourself respectfully. The club are in it, and that's probably the issue. So it is what it is. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. What else is going on? Tino is saying, I pray Partey has a good game. What's going on here? Let me see what else is here. Pretty slow day in the world of Arsenal, though, folks. Obviously, we hope Saliba makes his debut today. As I said, make sure you're voting for Martinelli for goal of the month, Saka for player of the month, and likewise Arteta. I don't know where you are, bro. I do know that you could probably just Google your timestamp, your time zone, and in England and work it out, but I don't know. One of my pet peeves is when people ask questions they can Google. I'm surprised. Love for the super chat. First things first. I'm surprised that Arsenal haven't been in for Patrick Schick. He's been impressive, but hasn't been linked with anyone really strange. But yeah, big up DG. Big up yourself. Not really convinced on him, if I'm honest, regardless of the goal scoring, man. Comps will make anyone look good, hence why we brought Lukaku. Arteta has his flaws, but moving XHAKA far away from our defensive process has been top 5 Arsenal squad decisions in recent years. And I've said that, XHAKA, I think 2 of the most improved players under Mikel Arteta, and people might look at me strange. Nicolas Pepe and Granit Xhaka. I think Pepe's still evident frustrations, but he's more all-rounded. And I think, like you say, Xhaka is still Xhaka. You can't, hide everything, but there's less brain farts and he's less out of position. His positioning is better, or the team's masking a bit more of his flaws if that's the case. So yeah, shout out to Arteta for that, man. This manager situation is a bit booky to me. There was always rumors that Arteta would take Pep's space and their contracts end at similar times, and to be linked with a next man isn't sitting with me. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What I would say is there needs to be succession planning, and that's the scary thing. Which is why I always say a club should be managers should be the most disposable in the current day and age. If he's going to go, man. But I mean, I couldn't say no to going to City, but it feels like, you ain't really accomplished nothing at Arsenal. Saying that, you could walk up. All that's mattered in life is the trophies. You walked away with an FA Cup. Maybe, man. I just hope he don't take his set piece done with him, man. DG, who you got later, Ghana or Nigeria? The timeline is going to be crazy. It is. Boy, I got no beef. Shout out to the Ghanaians. Shout out to the, Flygerians as well, Super Eagles. I'm going to have to go with Partey, innit? Because that's how it's Ghana. So, there we have it, man. Tite is coming as a renaissance to Arteta, so he will shadow him and attract the likes of Neymar, Anthony. I know because of an inside source. Trust me, big moves. What are you saying? Wallahi, but what are you saying? Where's your sources? Wallahi, bro. Respectfully, I hope you're right, but I don't know you from nowhere. I don't trust people I don't know. And anyone that says trust me, normally don't trust them. But I hear that, man. Arteta made XHAKA less exposed for time. I can't lie. Conor Gallagher or Neville would be good for us. Trust. Like Conor Gallagher, but we probably got a chance, man. If people can't see that XHAKA has been singled out ever since he came from the German league with the hard man rep, he probably has. How does Arteta need to spend to be challenging for Europe / the Prem next season? I think the Prem's a myth, and Europe I don't know. But what I would say, brother, if you get a midfielder and a striker, you can start to talk from there, man. I don't trust the board at all. I don't trust the board at all because I don't. As I said, I would love my club to have a serious director, all of these guys and whatnot. I don't see that. I just see Arteta. I don't know for Edu. I see Richard Garlick. I don't know. I think the club is probably over-reliant on Mikel Arteta beyond him making managerial decisions. And wasn't that the whole point of the structural thing that the manager is just manager for manager? Like he's just going to do the manager thing. Obviously, roles interlap and things like that, but it don't feel like that. So, yeah. Put it this way, I'd rather Edu Cat out than Arteta. I think that would be less harmful. But again, you need succession planning because when Arteta was getting linked with leaving, I'm sure you had other people. There was a chance where it looked like maybe, just maybe, you'd have to clip him. So we're going to have to see, man. Really. Don't forget, people, that I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. with Statman Baines. Do not forget that. So every time I see the Martinelli retweeted onto my timeline, this is amazing, man. Lovely to see he got his debut. Crazy. Sorry, people. That was some nice ass Luke, you see. Facts, man. Can only pray this has been planned out. This is the thing. It's like Chelsea, bro. They need to have a plan. Well, obviously things have probably been fucked, but if Tuchel buses out, they need a plan. At Liverpool, I don't know it, but you'd imagine there's something going on. If Klopp, when the thing happens, Pep, City, there's got to be something. We're a club that we only, but I think we genuinely sat there and went, oh, we need a striker because now Aubameyang's busting out. We'll only probably deep that, and I'm not talking about Arteta necessarily. We'll only deep that we need to replace the manager when the manager's moving. You know, when it's raining, then we're asking about the roof. The roof is leaking. When it's sunny, patting it, man. Really? Paqueta will be lit. Would take Nunez and or Tony and Schick. I don't trust Edu. I most definitely don't trust the board when it comes to player transactions over the summer. I mean, I'll give them credit. Last summer was decent, innit? So I'll give you my credit there. Credit where due. 20 more likes from 200 people. You're not doing the guy dirty, man. If Overmars is a wrong, what? He clearly is a wrong. No, you're gone, bro. Who's your favorite to win the World Cup? Brazil. You have to go, bro. Man said, come on, Nick. It's confirmed, right? We don't do sympathizing with them thing there. You have to come out of this live stream, man. Argentina versus Italy in Wembley for the Cup Champions Trophy. Crazy. Kakare would be lit. I'm on getting Kakare an hour. Amen. Amen. Bring them. Opinions on Australian football. I don't watch Australian football, so I don't know, man. I think Vieira is the backup option. Hey, if Vieira keeps doing what he's doing at Palace, that could be something, man. You know, he's showing that he's on bringing ballers to the carpet. Why not? So yeah, man, that could be something. I mean, respectfully, as good as Arteta is, he's not accomplished anything in the game. So it's not like it's not the same mammoth of task like Liverpool with replacing Klopp or Pep and all these things. I think the problem comes for Arsenal is how much money are you going to get to spend and all of these sort of things. What's going on? Let's be honest. Arteta had no clout in the game. So him going to Arsenal was of mutual benefit. He gets a job that he's not qualified for at the time. And he gets to fail fast, jumping at the deep end, rightly or wrongly, learn immediately. Arsenal probably relished that because what did you keep hearing when we're linked with all these other guys? They were on listening to us when it came down to the money being spent, etc., etc. They weren't on it, so the board got someone that they're willing to listen to, and it's working out now. Bro, this guy's asking me my questions. Or do you like cricket? I wouldn't say I don't dislike it. I wouldn't watch it, but is what it is. Do you like swimming? I do like to swim. Do you like wrestling? I'm not watching no wrestling, but I did. Is Arteta leaving or is the other guy coming to join him? They're saying my man's going to join us over after the World Cup in it. Which again, that starts in November. So let's say November, December. Come on now, that's going to be mid-season. Are they anticipating Arteta to cut before the end of the season, next season, or are they anticipating him to see out his contract until 2023 and then cut? These things are still possible, but we've just gone from hearing he's going to sign a new deal to that. I'd love him to sign a new deal so that if he cats out, then there's compensation. Completely off topic, but West Ham have made donations to 9 different animal welfare charities using funds raised from Kurt Zuma's fine for kicking and slapping his pet cat. Your reaction to going out? You fuck care. Italy going out? Fuck them. They're gone. Safe. Crazy. Yeah, I do still. Hella Q&A settings, fam. Sound like they're early still, but it's cool, man. You know my favorite color, bro? Blue. Very easy. Bit harsh. I do think Arteta I do think Vieira sits better with me. I like what he's doing at Palace, man. The Guzman, man, come on, leave Bayern and come to this thing. I'm dream chasing. But the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, man, as they say, bro. Dream chase, 100%. I'm dreaming with that one. Arsenal versus PSG scenes. My two clubs, having been born in Paris and obviously coming over here and falling in love with Arsenal, it would be brazy. Brazy. No chance Arteta leaves. There's always a chance, but I just think it's worse. Man said, even if Vieira don't come, bring me Elise. You would have thought 8 million. That was one to be done in the summer, but it wasn't, was it, man? It really wasn't. Anything else going on in the world of Arsenal? Don't forget, people. Well, if you're on Twitch, you're already there, innit? But 2 p.m. I'm going to have Statman Baines. Don't know what we're going to speak about, but we're going to speak about something. Make sure you're following me on Twitch. Which some of you already are, man. Shout out to the Twitch ones doing the right thing. Let me have a circle again for Arsenal related news, folks. You know, Paul Merson admits he was proven wrong by Martin Odegaard. I'll just read out what he's saying. Martin Odegaard has proved me wrong and is becoming the leader of Arsenal. Becoming the leader, Arsenal need to pass their toughest test yet. He's the main man there now and the first name on the team sheet for me. He has really improved and is doing the business. I think the players respect him because they can see he's a real player. I didn't see it at first. I have to admit it. It looked like he didn't really want to leave Real Madrid. I don't think he pulled up any trees on his loan at Arsenal. He could have sulked and lost his confidence when Madrid didn't want him anymore, but he's playing better now than ever. He's Arsenal's go-to man and he makes them tick. He isn't a leader in terms of running around and kicking people, barking out orders. That doesn't necessarily make you a leader. There's bare duds that do that. But in terms of the way he's playing, he is. The way he's turned it around, people are looking at him now. And fair play, he's done very, very well. He always wants the ball, knows how to use it. That's leadership too. I take my hats off to him because he's top drawer, one of the best in the Premier League, in my opinion. The problem Arsenal have is everyone else plays before them when they come back from the international break. They don't go to Crystal Palace until Monday, so all their rivals will have the chance to win and put some pressure on them. We know we've been here before. That's the test for Arsenal now. Can they handle the pressure? Because really and truly on now, they'll need players like Odegaard to keep showing up every week and putting in a shift, because I just think about every player is playing as well as they can right now. Not going to lie, in the last few games, he's gone off the ball. You can go through the team. Gabriel, I haven't seen him play like this before. Ben White has been really consistent. Kieran Tierney is very good all the time. Trust me, Merson. Cedric's done well. And the front three behind the striker are on top form. I just worry that if one of these players dip in the last few games, it could be a struggle. They're all playing at the top of their game. I don't know how much more there is. That is going to be hard to maintain until the end of the season. I keep hearing that it's Arsenal to lose, but it's not like they're 14 points clear like City were at the top at one point. Crystal Palace away on Monday night under the lights is a hard game. Trust me. As long as they don't panic in the running, they should be all right. But they haven't panicked all season after losing their first 3 games on the trot. From the board down, they have shown patience. They didn't sack the manager, and it's paid dividends. They need to show patience now. First time I've, shout out Paul Merson. He's a guy, when he misses a lot, but when he hits, he hits. Big up Paul Merson. Former Gooner in that. I think there's an article relation to Saliba, people. Let's go over that. I think it's in the Athletic. Let's find that. Tomiyasu has the chance to play at Crystal Palace on Monday night, by God's grace. Right, he's actually saying some truthful ones. What the fuck? Smash the like button. ESPN do love chatting waffle about us, so I'm hoping it's just a load of that. Not gonna lie, I don't want Vieira until he gets Palace to the Europa League. He's done well at Palace, but not enough. I hear you, and you're not wrong. But to play devil's advocate, what did Arteta do to get the Arsenal role? It was just propaganda, really, of what he could be as a manager. And don't get it twisted, we're seeing stuff. But I'm not saying you're not wrong, but I mean, do you get it? Just to play devil's advocate, I love it. Let's see what's exactly been said on this article. I haven't read it yet, so let's read it together on the Athletics website. Fucking hell, it's long though. Pause. It's mad. Look, you don't want to read this, people. Do you not want to read this? It's crazy. That's what I said. You know what? When he hits, he hits. How much would you sell Leno for? I'll try and make our bread back, but I don't think we're going to make our bread back. He's got a year left in it. And he's probably going to put pressure to leave because he could see out his contract, but you've got a World Cup. So fuck it, let's get into this, man. This will be a good way to close up. But as you can see here, Guendouzi is Arsenal's pass. But what about Saliba? In the chaos, Willian Saliba offered Marseille clarity. Their match against Nice had entered the final 5 minutes with Saliba and his team leading by a goal to nil. The stakes were, I don't care about none of this, man. If you're talking about the game that just gone, it's a brazy one, man. I just want to hear about the Arsenal team. Allow me with the jargon. Let's start from here. At the time, Saliba was just 20. He turned 21 a few days later. But those who know him best say this has always been his way. Ever since he broke into the St. Etienne team, he has carried himself with a certain authority. I'm just happy he's coming back a more confident, experienced, and just a more experienced and confident player in his own abilities and his confidence with playing a lot of games. Still a lot of mistakes in his game. Still a lot of things to like. And hopefully he gets an opportunity. I think all options are on the table. I think Arsenal might say, you know what, we spent peas on him. He stands to become a France international. We spent money on Gabriel and Ben White. We might just get a cheaper centre-back and throw some money elsewhere. It would be a shame if we don't get a chance. I want to see him sign a new deal and get an opportunity and complicate Arteta's planning around the defence. And you do hear rumours he's going to come back. You hear some rumours that he's not. I don't know, man. I don't know if Tite can speak English as well, man. I really don't. So, yeah, man, I hope you're doing well as well, Ed, man. Shout out you lot. So, yeah, man, I think for Saliba, I want genuine clarity over how you lot see me. Am I going to, if you say, you know what, you're part of the squad and it's down to you now, then that's all I would want to hear. When you get opportunity, take it. You'll probably start the season third choice, unless there's no injuries in that, but take your opportunities. And for Saliba, he's got a question to ask. Not only is that a challenge, but you've got a World Cup. And if you're scratching the surface in France's team, you don't necessarily want to go. All aspects should be on the table. It would annoy me, but going on loan again, coming to Arsenal and getting an opportunity are all things that could be a thing. So, yeah, man, let's see what's going on. Within a few minutes, Marseille had the reward of retaining their concentration. A breakaway led to Bakambu, who nods home a goal that sealed the victory. Saliba tore the length of the brother. This is so much jargon. And again, as I said in the loan report, Saliba conceded this set piece and did poor. He was out of position. These are a lot of things he can improve at. And he said in February his performance dropped. Big up whoever wrote this article, but you're doing a lot of capping, man. I just want to know how this links to Arsenal, bro. You're doing too much. Too much unnecessary jargon, bro. Just writing for the sake of it. Now I think we're there anyways. At full time, Saliba embraced his Marseille teammate Guendouzi. These are two hugely promising young players, both part of Didier Deschamps' most recent France team. Both are technically on loan from Arsenal, although there is acknowledgement on both sides of the channel that Guendouzi will remain in the province and not return to North London. The midfielder's loan, as you know, comes with a purchase option of 11 million euros, 9.2, provided certain off-field things are met. That deal is completed in the summer. Then obviously, many fans hope Saliba gets an opportunity. After the Nice match, Guendouzi and Saliba shared a private jet north to Paris. Guendouzi to join up with the full squad, Saliba expecting to be with the 21s. The following day, however, the centre-back was asked to join the senior sub. Obviously, Pavard got COVID, people, but you're not going to get a call-up if they're not looking at you. He's done quite well. He's got a lot of bad habits just at his age and what I honestly think he's picking up in Marseille because they defend well statistically, but they don't defend well. They concede some silly goals. Brother, Mohammed, come out the thing, man. You're chatting too much, man. Anyways, moving on, that if you're getting called up, that shows you're doing a thing, man. You're doing what you need to do. When Saliba and his representatives decide on his future at the end of the season, it will be at the forefront of their minds. Guendouzi, appears utterly at home in Marseille. There's something about this club, the passion, the colour, the glamour that fits him perfectly. I'd agree. It's not a given. And we've got to remember, Saliba could make his debut this week at Marseille's ground for France, which would be a good birthday present. He's recently turned 21 people. Pardon me. I mean, I don't care about Guendouzi anymore, but I do, but I don't for this. The reason Marseille fans have really taken to Guendouzi, same thing about Arsenal, because we love the passion and commitment. There are two things that are deeply rooted in the club's identity. What they don't accept is players who aren't giving their all, and they're not above turning on players if that's what they see. But Guendouzi was a hit almost instantly. That's great for him. Where is the Saliba bit? That's good for him. Great to see him doing what he's doing. Guendouzi, we know he's got good leadership skills and things, and it's a shame that he's not involved. You know, really and truly, that's great for him, man. You know, he's played as a 6, he's done all these things, but it's getting quite annoying. It's distinct from the deeper role he usually occupied at Arsenal, in some ways reminiscent of XHAKA's recent deployment by Arteta. Few Marseille fans doubt Guendouzi's physical capacity to fill box-to-box, but there are some concerns over his technical quality, especially in the final third. He doesn't take enough risk going forward, one tells The Athletic. He's technically poor, he's not creative enough. I mean, he's not a creative don. He irritates me, says another. His first touch isn't great, his control of the ball is bad, he makes poor choices, and yet no one can argue with his foremost traits: his work rate, his character. He's a warrior. He'll let nothing go. When Guendouzi makes a mistake on the pitch, if he misplaces a pass or miscontrols the ball, he seems to win back possession through sheer force. Brother, is this meant to be about him? Was we talking about Saliba, man? That's the whole reason I clicked on this. Shout out to Guendouzi. He's here. We know he's become a dad. The personality is still there. Apparently, Yarabad's this is quite funny. Ibrahima Wadji revealed that after he handled the ball into the net in the Europa Conference League knockout phase, Guendouzi told him, "If you're Muslim, God will punish you if you don't tell the truth." He promptly owned up. Man playing on the conscience. Guendouzi is very honest. Sometimes comes across as harsh, but what he says often is a reality. It's true, man. You know, sometimes that can rub people up the wrong way, as you could immediately see, people. Arteta might disagree. The pair had a very public fallout during Arsenal's training trip to Dubai in the June after Guendouzi allegedly taunted Brighton players about their earnings. He was called in for a disciplinary meetings with the club's hierarchy, the meeting that did not go well. Guendouzi's advocates suggest he may have been victim of this grander strategy. In parts of the squad, there was a feeling that Arteta was determined to break the French dressing room clique, who were quite close-knit and influential. And he's kind of turned, you know, when you look at it, it's ended for Guendouzi, Aubameyang. Yeah, man. Despite all of that, there's a sense of regret at Arsenal about Guendouzi's impending departure. Arteta's non-negotiables have arguably laid the foundation for the club's cultural revolution, but there have been necessary casualties. Few at the club doubt Guendouzi's talent. There's disappointment that things have not worked out. The club initially sent him on loan before striking a deal with Marseille last summer, and we all know that. On reflection, there will also be some regret over the deal. Arsenal may have accepted a pandemic price to guarantee some influx in cash. In reality, again, they could have made a lot more. Brother, where is the Saliba shit now, bro? Finally, you know, it's been a good week for Saliba. He helped overcome knees. You know, they stay on track for the Champions League. He's been called up to the senior squad. It's been his birthday. You know, there's been a lot of noise for a player on loan that's never played for our team. Probably the most noise, man. We all know he's doing what he's doing. Marseille up the table. When it was decided he would spend the whole of 2021-22 on loan, Arsenal explored the possibility of arranging a move to the Premier League. That's true. And what I get from that is that clearly we're thinking of him really to help with the English Premier League. There is a clear, rational thinking to that. But for the Frenchman, Marseille holds an appeal. And I could understand going to Marseille. The crucial thing was just getting games. You know, the club widely supported with a stored past. It is a club born out of an industrial port, a city that has long been home to a significant immigration population. The passion that exists around the club is therefore infused with politics. In a league now dominated by Paris Saint-Germain, Marseille are the romantic choice. For Saliba, a move to the Velodrome as opposed to, say, Newcastle United or Palace would have been relatively a straightforward choice. The loan has also served its purpose. He started 28 Ligue 1 games, played a bunch of football. You know, he's played 3,595 minutes, more than any other player. Guendouzi is second. So it's good to see what Sao Paulo is doing. And I would love to play for Sao Paulo. The guy basically on the sideline, kicking every ball with you. From day one, he told me that I was going to become one of the leaders of the team. He brings me a lot of confidence, even after bad matches, which I think Arteta would do. You progress faster when you have a coach who doesn't take you out. You make a mistake, the next game, you know you have. And it's true what Wenger said, you pay for the education of players with points. We didn't quite lose points, but you've seen Gabriel do dumb shit this season. You've seen Ben White do the same, people. And Saliba did it last Sunday, got away with it, really. And this is the stage they're at, people, really. You know, Saliba's shown he can play in the back three, can play in the two, can play off the left, can play off the right. I do think if he comes to Arsenal, or better yet, Arteta will demand he plays the ball to his right back a little less and tries the more adventurous pass. A lot of what Saliba needs to work on is just cultural things, you know, when to play simple, when to complicate. One thing I like about Saliba, he's learning when to get tight. And as a defender, you can't always win the ball. Sometimes you have to let an attacker do what they're doing. He's learning this. You know, he's getting there a lot, man. His ability to play on the right of a free has been influential in his France call-up. Deschamps recently committed to that formation, which is true. And he's one of the best. You know, I think Tadibo over there at Nice could probably be counting himself unfortunate that he didn't get no call-up as well. You know, again, DG can tell you about all of this. I tell you about all of this, really. And I've done my loan report. I just need to bring it out. In fact, I haven't. I just need to record it. There was an incident where Gahiri's blood was bleeding and that. It is what it is. I mean, that's great, man. That's great. That's great for him. We all know Edu and Ben Napier were both in attendance against PSG doing what he's doing. He said, I'm a young player, but there's no excuse. And in February, as I said, he said, I've been very average. It's typical. And what I like about him, he's got that mentality, man. He's doing what he needs to do, man. Marseille, I mean, Deschamps said on his time at Marseille, we've been following for a while. What he's doing with Marseille in a role he knows well and in a system that is not identical but similar to the one we use is interesting. William is a good defender in a duel. He's quick, has good heading. I think his heading can improve a lot and his agility. But yeah, he does his thing. I don't think he'll make the World Cup, but I'd love him to, man. Apparently, he signed a 4-year deal. Arsenal have until the end of December to trigger it. The deal will take him until 2024. Ordinarily, a club would look to extend the player, but all parties are aware Saliba is unlikely to commit until his future is determined, which is true. For Arsenal, bringing back Saliba would appear to be sensible. He would return a more experienced guy, yada, yada, yada. If Saliba comes to the UK and plays now, it will be a different Saliba to the one who arrived, which is true. And it's the whole point of going out on loan. Apparently, there's not been a great deal of contact between the club and the player this season. And again, there's probably been indirect contact. But in terms of sitting down, right now's not the time. Let him focus on his season. For the most part, they've left him to his own devices. When Saliba first joined Arsenal, he took an unusually active role in the move for a teenager and developed good relations with the executives Huss Farme and Raul Sanye. These two have both since left. Saliba is not close to any members. And that's why Arteta might just go, you're not my signing. Edu be like, you're not my Don. Let's just put you in the shop window. As you know, Napier monitors and manages the young players. Saliba is no exception. There's been little contact. So you would like a bit more contact. And you want a player to feel important. If Arteta and Eddie have a plan for him, it has not been communicated to him yet. Some will query why Saliba should be treated differently from any other player on loan. The answer perhaps comes in the form of the price tag, which is true. We'll have to see what happens, people. You know, he's had some personal problems. There's been a lot going on. You know, he didn't. I do think the 18 months he's been here probably should have went on loan, you know, rather than wasting away in our 23s. But yeah, man. And as we all know, there was, you know, we couldn't agree something with St. Etienne and he couldn't play in our final and all of these sort of things. There is unnecessarily a lot of jargon, man. Saliba is very ambitious. He thinks about his career in terms of a 15-year plan. Teammates regularly joke about the huge plates of food he devours. But that appetite for food is matched only by his appetite for success. Crazy, man. Some of that has been in December, he said, you have to fight in a career. We must take that as a lesson to go further. It gave me a little slap to say, you are nobody. You can be bought for 30 million, arrive in a club, and we put you aside. I took this experience by being positive. I feed on it. I know what it's like not to play for 6 months. Today, I want to play every game. It puts the ideas back in place. Before arriving at Arsenal, I said to myself, who am I going to play with? Then you're not even in the group in the Premier League. It gives you a good slap. It feels good. It brings you back to reality. For his part, Arteta has defended the decision to send Saliba somewhere he would play regularly. He said, I know that sometimes it's difficult to explain or understand after the money that the club has spent trying to bring him in to send him on loan. But a lot of things have happened to him. He's a long-term player for us. We need to protect him as well and giving him 3 or 4 games is not enough. So that tells you he's ready for him. Publicly, Saliba is keeping his cards close to his chest. He says the right things when it comes to Arsenal and Marseille. The French have made no agreement, no secret of their admiration for him. He said, I never hid that I felt good here. I don't know my future. There are 2 months left. The most important thing is to qualify for the Champions League, go as far as possible in the Conference League. I think there'll be discussions afterwards at the end of May, beginning of June with Arsenal and Marseille. But it's sure that continuing here would not be a bad idea. On the contrary, I know the city, my teammates, my coach, but it's not just up to me. And some are questioning whether they have the money to do that. Saliba would not come cheap. Arsenal would want to recoup the 30 million. They would also, precise valuation remains uncertain. And I mean, you know, a loan back there might not be the worst thing. If they're playing Champions League football and Arsenal or not, it might be a decision. You know, apparently, Saliba's Arsenal wages already places him among the highest earners at the French club, and he would expect an uplift. Marseille are, however, unlikely to be his only option. The Athletic understands that if Saliba were to decide to move on permanently this summer, he would have other suitors in France, Spain, and England, of course. Saliba remains open to returning to Arsenal. He recognises they're a big club and a big opportunity, and he was a fan. To leave without ever making his mark on the shirt. There is an acknowledgement, however, the difficulties. I mean, I'm not being funny, but there is a huge outlay paid on Ben White and Gabriel. This is what is going on. So he needs to go and do what he's doing, man. This is just a lot of jargon. Holding's probably going to have to keep it moving. Saliba takes nothing for granted. His involvement with France, their wealth of defensive options means him winning a place on the plane to Qatar is still a long shot. There are those at London Coley who suggest the hype around Saliba outweighs the talent. Others who feel he has done more than enough to earn the chance to wear the Arsenal shirt. Whether he gets that opportunity may ultimately come down to the manager. My feeling is that Arteta, for whatever reason, isn't sold on him, says Matt Spirito. That might change given the season Saliba is having. I still believe he wants to play for Arsenal. The question is whether he'll get the chance. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Fucking hell, that was, apologies, people. That was a long article filled with a lot of unnecessary stuff. If I'm completely honest with you, like there was no need for a lot of that. G1, go away, mate. Save it for thingy. Save it for sorry, save it for 2 p.m. man. I've got Statman Bane. Save your nonsense for Statman. Allow it, man. You're a villain. How does a man come through at the end of it? Big up you. I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone is, man. What a guy, man. What a guy. Brother, the article, Jamie, that was a mad one. We started, so I had to go. Big up my Dubai ones. Amazing to see your growth, bro. Come on, my guy. I appreciate that. Man wants to get me to 1 million subs. By God's grace, one day, man. With guys like you, is what it is. Athletic wasting their money, paying Gunner Blog to write this long-winded article. Everyone's got to make some peace, man. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out Saliba. I rate his mentality after taking accountability of his performances. Crazy, man. Guendouzi, he'll probably come back for a week. It's done, bro. He's not coming back, bro. It is what it is, man. With that, though, I think that's perfect to end this stream, people. Obviously, make sure you hit the like button. I'm live at 2 p.m. That's just going to be on Twitch, though, with Statman. And then I'm live on Twitch once again at 4:30. So, yeah, make sure you're all there for that. Appreciative to everybody who's hit the like button to sit here at 213 likes. I appreciate that a lot. One love to the Twitch gang as well. I see you lot, you know, especially you lot watching the ads, etc., etc., etc. Catch you at 2, man. It's a win for Saliba. Exactly. For Saliba, I think, you know, he's on everything you should be. He might have been brought under false pretenses. If not, it is what it is. You have to keep it moving. But I think I would love him to come back, at least get an opportunity, see what's going on until next January. We'll have to see, man. On one hand, I do think I think Arteta's got a plan for him. But on the other hand, I can't help but think when you've not been in constant dialogue and whatnot, that you don't have plans for the man, because you was in constant dialogue with, what's his name, Smith Rowe, when he was at Huddersfield. So, yeah, man, big up South London. Yeah, man, all of you lot, shout you lot, I'm out, man.
Against this right back, Charlie.
There's always that active and defenders. I think it's like